What's good, everyone? It's your favorite officer, Sergeant. Be safe. Today we're diving into a wild ride through the school and tackling some serious issues. Let's keep it real. Let's follow young Malik Mystic as he meets with treacherous Tony.
Yo, Tony, what's poppin' with these pills? You trying to be the new doctor in town?
Just a little something to take the edge off, Malik. You want to feel like you're floating on a cloud? Pretty soon, all the kids in his school are going to come to me for pills.
Whoa, I'm feeling like I just drank Grandma's secret potion. I'm lit.
Malik? You look like you just came from a family reunion where they ran out of food. What's going on?
I'm lit.
Malik, you're not yourself. We need to get you to the nurse before you start dancing like it's nobody's business.
Oh my god.
It must be the stuff I got from treacherous Tony.
What?
Drugs. I hate drugs.
Mr. Powell, Malik is acting really strange. I think he's been hitting the wrong kind of snacks.
Sergeant, be safe. We're glad you're here. We need to handle this before it turns into a not-so-funny episode of school drama.
Looks like we've got a situation at the school. Malik's got some bad vibes in him, and we need to find out where it came from.
Let's roll, partner. Time to show these wannabe gangsters that we don't play. Let's mount up. It's time we get them. Let's go.
All right, Clay, time for some tactical moves. We're about to crash this party like we're the last ones to leave the cookout.
Uh-oh. It's the safety squad. I thought we were just having a little chill time.
You're under arrest for dealing illegal substances. This isn't a club, Tony.
Nice try. But I'm built like a fridge. And I'm not letting you slide out.
All right, fam. Let's talk about the dangers of drugs. They might seem cool, but they can turn you into a walking meme. Nobody wants that.
But what if someone offers you drugs?
Great question. Always say no. Keep your head clear and your dreams even clearer. You weren't born to be a cautionary tale.
Thanks, Sergeant. Be safe. Next time, I'll just stick to my video games and TikTok dances.
Stay safe, stay smart, and remember, if you see something suspicious, call your local hero. Until next time, keep it lit.
And don't forget, treacherous Tony and his crew ended up going to jail. And that's your tip of the day to get you on your way.
The best advice anyone ever gave me was 2 words. You can't. And you know what my response was? 2 words. Watch me.
میکنیم کلتو باشی حتی کچل فرق وسط فرق بغل قرمز مده میکنیم رنگم عوض.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Let me get on the big screen there. I already see that we got Nina Sandra already on the show. She's on YouTube right now. We got Seti P. He's on YouTube as well. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate all of you. I know all the notifications didn't go out because the promo was set a little late. But we're here. It's Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the podcast Black and Blue. The podcast is just for you, and you're here with your host, Coach Clee. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker. Yes, you can find me in the Crimes Code book, Ecclesiastes 302. I'm the coldest code switching detective, and yes, I'm King 360, and you spell my name CLEE, which stands for Continuing Law Enforcement Edutainment, because we entertain and we educate, and we have a lot of fun doing it. Thank you guys for tuning in for another episode for Black and Blue, the podcast, where we go live weekly at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. When we go live with the special guest and or myself. When we talk about our trainings, experiences, and our publications, and normally it's with a first responder or a law enforcement officer who's either rookie, seasoned, or retiree. And we're not going to fall short. I got an exciting show for you today. I'll be explaining some things. It's going to be a little bit of story time. You guys heard of the Greek philosopher, I believe he was, or the Fables, the soothsayer, whatever. I'm probably saying it wrong, but Aesop has the book of many fables. I had to read it when I was growing up. I had to do reports on it. So today I'm going to do a comparison on the story that he did, one of the stories that he did, and how it relates to us today. So today is going to be an episode of Clee-Sop's Fable. All right. Hope you guys like the name. Hope you guys like the show. We're going to have a lot of fun. I got a bunch of videos. Let's start off. Let me get the intro out the way before I figure out where we're going to start off. We're streaming on 7 different platforms, from Spotify to Facebook pages, as in Clark Tent, Coach Clee, Black and Blue, One Way Publishing. We're on LinkedIn. We're on 2 pages on YouTube. It's for the Black and Blue page. Again, Spotify, I think that's Black and Blue or Coach Clee as well. So make sure you guys tag, like, share, subscribe. Since I'm on all those different platforms streaming at the same time, I can't always see the comments. So if you have a comment or a question, make sure you put it in the comment section and I'll acknowledge it. If you have a question, I'll put it there. It's about a 30-second time delay. But if you just want that shout out like Nina and Seti P did earlier, let me get them up on there. Bam and boom. Just put something in the comment section. I'll get that on there. And we'll shout you out. Whether just put your name and where you're from in the comment section, we'll get it out there. Make sure you hit that like button, tag, like, share, and subscribe, because the likes are free. And I appreciate all of you for tuning in tonight. We got a good show. I hope you guys like the one intro. Well, I did that a while ago, but the longer intro has been pretty standard for a while. Mainstream now. It's pretty good. But again, I'm on Spotify. I know what I'm forgetting. I'm sorry, I'm stalling because I'm forgetting, because this is sponsored by One Way Publishing. This platform, Black and Blue, the podcast is just for you, is sponsored by One Way Publishing, the book publishing company, where their motto is they can turn a mere thought into a book that's bought. So if you ever wanted to write a fiction, nonfiction, need help with AI, don't need help with AI, if you wanted to write anything that you can imagine, One Way Publishing can get that done. And if you go to my website, I have it in the comment section. Let me put that up here. Where's that? If you go to my website right there, there's a free book on the website. Just check out workwithclee.com. Not right now, but later. It's also in the comment section. It's also in the description box. There's a free ebook that you can download or peruse and take a look at. You'll see some things on there that you may or may not find interesting. However, free is free. And, I like giving out deals because the economy is not giving us any breaks right now. So, therefore, Coach Clee is going to come through and give out some breaks. All right. Perfect. I think I got all that. If you guys didn't see last week's show was a recording. It was very dynamic. She's been hitting up LinkedIn like crazy way before her book dropped, then when her book dropped, and now after. It's on Amazon. Her name is Dr. Leah Kaylor. We're going to watch a quick recap of what that is. If you haven't already got in her book, it's on if Sleep Were a Drug. It's pretty good. It's very good, actually. The interview was very good. Make sure you guys go back and check it out. We talked about a lot of things on how sleep deprivation how it affects the body, and the pros and cons on getting enough sleep and what happens to your body when you don't get enough sleep. And then, of course, we're first responders, so we're already behind the 8 ball. And she explains, for one, the effects on the body that most some know. Some of the placebo effects that we think that we're actually doing the right thing and we're not doing the right thing, and how to take care of ourselves. So let's do the recap. Let me get that out there so you guys can see what last week's show was about. Make sure you guys, this is just a quick snippet of it, but make sure you guys check it out. It was a very interesting interview, and I appreciate her taking the time and coming on the show. Thank you, Dr. Kaylor.
Come up with a good one. We still have like a similar beginning, middle, and then we change the ending. And so now that we have this new package, very simple and easy, this person just starts to, during the daytime, in a quiet, private environment, practice this only the new dream for about 15 to 20 minutes. And we do this over and over and over in the daytime. And as this happens, eventually the brain at night, and this will take a little while, you have to stay consistent with the practice, but I've had great results with this. After just a few weeks, eventually the brain will kind of like switch tapes in the middle of the night, and then you can start to sleep through the dream because it starts to take on the new ending. And then eventually people just report that they no longer even remember having the dream, or just don't even have the dream altogether. And so it's really simple and yet like mind-blowingly powerful, and I think that just so few people know that it's an option for them. So again, it's called imagery rehearsal therapy, IRT.
I love it. Yeah, and we're talking about IRT. That's specifically for those who were going through some sort of depression or having nightmares or going some level of PTSD or things along those lines. That basically for those who didn't like sleeping because they can see all the images, see all the pictures, have the nightmares, things coming back from the job, coming back to them. They basically would either drink until they passed out, which wasn't good, of course, or just basically fell asleep, but then still had the nightmares or whatever was bothering them. So she suggested some treatments for that, and the process on doing that and the imagery how it makes perfect sense when you hear her explain it, because she explains something that you would think is so complex and breaks it down to where a 3-year-old or a Cocker Spaniel can understand it. So I appreciate that. That was a great interview. I can't say enough. She's been featured and highlighted all throughout my different platforms all through the week on different snippets as well. So you might have caught maybe a reel or 30-second or 1 minute long snippet of that as well. But make sure you check it out. All right. That was a good interview. But we're going to keep moving on. This is going to be a fun show. It's going to be a quick one, too. Every time I say it's a quick one, we end up going for a little while longer than I anticipate. But we're still going to have fun. I see Shayla's in here. She's talking about good evening. Good evening to you. Thank you for tuning in. Tag, like, and share. But most of you, where should I go? Yeah, I'm going to go with this week. What day was that? Was it Wednesday, Tuesday? I forget what day of the week it was. Former teacher of mine, who's now a principal of another school, invited me to come to speak to his 7th grade class. And in the process of doing that, I don't mind doing it. I love doing it, actually. We threw out a few dates and things weren't really jiving, and we finally were able to get it together. I got to take, you see the background behind me, you know, some of the books that I wrote. You don't see them in the background because I took like some the first editions is normally what's back there of those copies of books. I took them with me to show them off for, I think, a professional development day, career day with the 7th graders. Okay. So I'm setting it up. Got to go in and see my former teacher, and he was my teacher and track coach. Now he's a principal. Let me put him up here on the screen. Shout out to Mr. Porter. Yep, and the big behemoth guy standing next to him, that would be me. But I had a great time talking with the students. I got to tell them the origin on how basically I'm second generation cop, and talked about the Army and talked about growing up where I grew up, and then talked about how I got law enforcement, how I used to jump out of planes in the Army, being undercover, all the action stuff, all the fun stuff, and then the not so fun stuff that comes with the territory. And it was a good conversation, and we got to get caught up. Such a great opportunity. Yeah, I agree. And we got to get caught up, and I got to sit with the assembly. I thought it was going to be like 5 or 10, maybe 15, but it looked like the entire class. It took up the entire auditorium. And as corny as I thought I was, they were very receptive. I mean, we went on with question and answers for about 15 minutes, probably longer than it should have gone, but they were asking some good questions, and I was impressed. And I got to walk away with a gift, actually, from one of the students. It's hanging up on my wall in my office. But during that, she drew that. I don't remember her name. I'm sorry, but to prove it to you, I did hang it up on my wall. Don't laugh at it's on the wall of fame right there. Right when I was a star student in the death of a squirrel from back in 2020. But I say all that to say it was amazing because I got to go back to, ironically, to the 7th grade, not the 7th grade class, but they were 7th graders. And I told them, I'm going to tell you guys like I told them. Back in 7th grade, I remember wanting to be, you guys know who've been watching the platform, I wanted to be a law enforcement officer since I can go back to probably age 4. Second generation, my father was one. You can see his pictures sometimes in the intro. You may, if you catch it or not, they go by pretty quickly. But I remember when we had career day or something to that sort, one of my 7th grade teachers who recently passed, actually, and I don't think she meant it in spite or in a bad way, but she went around the room and asked what everyone wanted to be when they grew up. And I said, I wanted to work for this township, the school that I was in, that township, that police department when I grow up. And she abruptly stopped me and said, yeah, you might want to try something different. I don't think that you're going to be able to make it, or you're not going to get hired with that township. And that's when the switch went off in my head that day. I remember that, and I said, now I know exactly where I'm going to work. I'm going to get hired for that township and work there. And so, of course, I'm in 7th grade. I grow up, and ideas change and things that go along those ways. I go in the Army and come back out. Then I go work for another small town department where I get hired with almost right out of the academy. And then I work part-time at another one. And lo and behold, I'm applying everywhere. I'm doing physical fitness tests and the written tests like every other weekend for like 2 years, I believe, maybe even 3. I'm applying. I'm doing everything I possibly can. And finally, this department, the first time I come in for an interview, actually, I didn't get hired. And this is back in the early 2000s. This is before the academy. The second time I came in, I got hired, and I thought it was a dream. I thought they made a mistake. I thought I was on cloud 9, and so I remember going through the hiring process, and I would hurry up and fill out my paperwork. I would get things done very dramatically because I thought if I hurry up and get it in before they found out they made a mistake, they won't let me go. But I've been here ever since. I've been working with this department. I appreciate working with the department, and I got to convey that to the kids. One of my friends at the time remembered that story and remembered the report I wrote. And when I graduated the police academy, they actually found me because we were separated, through life for maybe 20 years or so at the time, and found me on maybe MySpace or early version of Facebook to congratulate me because they remembered what I said, and that hit home with me. I got to share that story with the kids. This is a group of the kids there at the school right there. That's me and Mr. Porter. That's some of the kids. That's probably one classroom. That's not all of them, but that's me during the presentation. Yep. Showing off Sergeant Be Safe. I got to explain the podcast. I got to explain Sergeant Be Safe, the cartoon. I got to explain Black and Blue. I got to explain One Way Publishing and owning the publishing company and being an author. I got to explain so much. And I didn't even know, honestly, to how amazing some of the accomplishments were, at least in their eyes, because I'm just doing stuff every day just because I want to do them. I want to take on the next challenge and see if I can get it done. And they came with amazing questions. So shout out to Mr. Porter and shout out to that 7th grade class. Thank you again for the picture that's hanging up on my wall in my office. I appreciate all of you. Thank you. And so with that, I did tell them about the new transition. So I got a new partner that's on my shift. He's a brand new detective, at least working cases now. So of course it inspired me to come up with, I'm the behemoth. And he's the tall. He's like 6'8". He's gigantic. And so we've come up with our own catchphrase. We're big and tall investigations. And when, of course, I hear something, I'm going to run with it. So automatically, I'm going to show you the preview. And we got big and tall investigations. We got Tall Tale and Big Deal. They're out here solving crimes. They live in the same city with Sergeant Be Safe. They fight the same bad guys, but these guys are just a little bit different. They got a little slight edge and a little cooler. I'll show you the intro here in a minute.
Tall Investigations, the toughest and smartest to ever do it, with Big Deal and Tall Tale. Grab your popcorn. Their adventures are going to be electrifying.
And so with that, I wouldn't be me if I didn't already at least have one cartoon ready. So let's go. Cut it. Let's get to the cartoon. Let's go.
Let's go.
The Case of the Missing Diamonds. In the bustling city of Metroville, Big Deal, a sharp-witted, retired football player turned detective, was lounging in his office when his phone rang. Big Deal, we've got a situation. Tall Tale, his towering partner, exclaimed. Rob You Blind just pulled off a diamond heist at the Grand Jewelers. With a smirk, Big Deal replied, time to show that punk who's boss. They hopped into their sleek black car, the engine roaring like a lion. As they sped through the streets, Tall Tale reviewed the evidence. He left a trail of clues like breadcrumbs. Big Deal chuckled. Let's follow the crumbs, my friend. They arrived at a shady warehouse where they spotted Rob and his gang. Let's crash this party, Big Deal declared, ready for action. With a burst of adrenaline, Big Deal and Tall Tale stormed into the warehouse. Rob You Blind, furious at being interrupted, shouted, "Get them, boys!" A wild brawl erupted, fists flying and furniture crashing. Big Deal tackled one thug while Tall Tale disarmed another with his towering reach. "You're going down, Rob!" Big Deal yelled as the mastermind made a break for it. The chase was on. They dashed through the warehouse, leaping over crates and dodging punches. Rob sprinted out the back door, but Big Deal was hot on his heels. "You can't outrun justice," he shouted as they burst onto the street. Rob hopped into a getaway car, revving the engine. "Not so fast," Tall Tale yelled, leaping onto the hood of the car. With Tall Tale clinging to the hood, Rob You Blind swerved wildly, trying to shake him off. Big Deal, not one to back down, jumped onto the car's roof, fists clenched. "You're not getting away this time," he roared. Rob, panicking, sped toward a narrow alley, but Big Deal had a plan. "Hold on, Tall Tale," he shouted as he leaped off the roof and landed in front of the alley exit. With a swift move, he blocked the car's path. Rob slammed on the brakes, skidding to a halt. "You think you can stop me?" he sneered. "Watch this." He reached for a hidden weapon, but Tall Tale was quicker, disarming him with a swift jab. "Game over, Rob," Big Deal declared, cuffing him as the sirens wailed in the distance. With Rob You Blind in custody, Big Deal and Tall Tale emerged victorious, the sun setting behind them. "Another case closed, my friend," Big Deal said, grinning. "And we did it in style." Just then, two beautiful women approached, smiles lighting up their faces. "You guys were amazing," one exclaimed. "We'd love to celebrate with you." Tall Tale, blushing, replied, "We'd be honored." As they headed to a nearby cafe, laughter filled the air. Big Deal leaned back, satisfied. "You know, Tall Tale, it's not just about solving crimes. It's about the journey and the company you keep." Tall Tale nodded, raising his glass, to friendship, adventure, and always catching the bad guys. They clinked their glasses, ready for whatever the next case would bring.
What do y'all think? Big Deal and Tall Tale, Big and Tall Investigations. I had a lot of fun with that one. Now, I'm not going to do away with certain be safe, but they got to have caveats. You got to grow. We got to adapt. And it was a good idea. I thought I'd bring it to life best way I could. And see, I like the narration. I like the storyline. These guys get girls at the end of the cartoon, the adventure. So therefore, Sergeant Be Safe, he's more structured. He's by the book, of course, but these guys are more conventional. They intervene the best way they can. They're investigators, they're PIs, so they have a different rule set and skill set that they play by. So it's a lot of fun. Hope you guys enjoy it. We'll see how far it goes and where it goes. But again, just wanted to share that information. That idea just sparked a new concept. So we'll see. All right. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. But I did have a nice surprise this week. And it's amazing to me how far the reach of Black and Blue is, and the mysterious people who do things. And this will make sense in a minute. I saw somebody this week who is visiting from Florida. I had no idea that they watched the show. They don't comment, tag, like, or share as far as I know. I haven't caught any comments, but I appreciate them. And you guys don't know how much it means to actually hear, hey, good show, or something positive about the show. Because many times I'm wondering, like, man, I did a terrible job. I fumbled through this. I was stuttering. Is it even worth it? Am I passing on good information? Are we having fun doing it? I mean, it's kind of different when I'm sitting here looking at my laptop and then I have the camera and the mic right here. So I don't actually get to physically see you guys out there. So I don't know what actually is going on unless you tag, like, share, comment. But I enjoy doing these shows and I know it has a purpose. But to actually physically hear it from someone to kind of brings it home. And that's why I knew I couldn't miss this week. That's why the show got started a little later than normal, coming up with the concept for an idea. Because not always I had the guess. Sometimes, I mean, I am still working full time, so it's difficult for me to get a schedule. And then other times the guests are still working sometimes too. So they have to gracefully bow out for whatever reason, whether they get called into work or their job tells them they can't do it. So I have to honor those commitments, and I have to honor those reactions to those commitments as well. So you guys understand. But actually get that from out of nowhere was one thing. Secondly, to actually see this, I saw this on my IG Sergeant Be Safe page, and I saw this on Facebook as well. And this individual has done a bunch of songs for a bunch of different businesses, and I'm just happy and humbled that the Goofball Corner Boy felt it not robbery to do this song. I'm posted here. I hope you like it. I like it. It caught me off guard. I still have no idea who it is. The song is very relevant, and I mean it's a good song. So let me know what you guys think about the Goofball Corner Boy song.
This is Sergeant Be Safe. Out here, you gotta watch more than your step. You gotta watch your circle. Goofball Corner Boy, you know the vibe. Yeah. Goofball Corner Boy, you know the vibe. Know the vibe. Know the vibe. Hey, stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Rub your blind, smooth talk, slick shoe. Smile on his face while he pick your dudes. Misdemeanor got charm in her tone, but she'll twist your piece when you all alone. Treacherous Tony played both sides slick. Grin like a friend, but he moved too quick and chance. Wild, a wild card, rolling the dice. Risking it all, never think twice. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Still move, silent at night. Look good doing wrong, look wrong doing right. But every test make your purpose shine. So keep your soul armored, stay divine. Oh, yeah. He don't chase villains, he chase vision. Teaching the block through real precision. Skits ain't comedy, they caution in prayer. Truth with a badge, love in the air. Microphone mission, blog in the zone. Sergeant Be Safe, never stand alone. Faith in the city, hope in the tone. He turned hard lessons into stone. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Remember their names. Rob your blind misdemeanor. Treacherous Tony, Chance Wild, Safed Steel. They out there, but so's hope. Sergeant Be Safe. Stay aware, stay alive, stay faithful. Goofball Corner Boy, you know the vibe. This is Sergeant Be Safe.
See what I mean? Why does it always go either from big? There we go, right there. That was a nice song. I enjoyed it. I know you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed it as well. That was a nice surprise. It flowed. The characters were in there. Got Rob You Blind, Chance Wilder, Misdemeanor. If you guys follow the storyline, the Sergeant Be Safe. It is a nice song. It's a good song. Shout out to you, Goofball Corner Boy. I appreciate it. Keep them coming. I did get to listen to a couple others that you produced. They're all good. They're good. I appreciate that. And then I must have, let me get this video. So with that, again, AI is a beautiful thing, especially if you take it seriously. And where did I save this at? Let me see if I can find it. Someone else, there it is. Here we go. So they made this AI ad, all right, and I'm saying how much of a blessing it is. I told you the individual from Florida. Then I get surprised by the Goofball Corner Boy song, and then I get someone that sends me an ad promo. It's AI. I have to believe they were just testing some things out, trying it out, but I appreciate the fact that they used it and they got the reference black and blue. So I'm gonna share it with you guys too, and then we're gonna get to the right to the point of the podcast on why you guys are here. But this is a perfect show to actually get caught up on all the things that are being sampled, all the things that are being sent to me, all the things being said, current life on the street, without talking about actual cases or anything like that, just talking about community service, being out in the community. Everyone wants to know what's law enforcement doing for the community and what's the community doing for the law enforcement, but engaging in our youth, our next generation coming up, and to actually have conversation and give them perspective and to actually see what their viewpoint is and answer their questions was amazing. So all of it comes full circle. It's a big deal. It's a lot of fun. Big deal and tall tale, that is. But it was a lot of fun. And so here, let me show you this AI ad.
Gather round. Let me tell you what's real. It's the Black and Blue podcast. We got the appeal. Thursdays drop. You know we keep it tight. Clee Tillman, Sergeant B, bringing truth to the light. From the streets to the precinct, we're breaking it down. Law enforcement stories, wearing that badge with a crown. First responders in the mix, knowledge to share, relevant topics. Yeah, we handle it with care.
See, and that was, I mean, it's pretty quick and to the point, but it's an ad, of course. I don't know what to say. I'm flabbergasted, for lack of a better term, by all the engagement and the excitement. I see a very catchy song. You love this, Shayla? Yeah, thank you. Me too. Yes, you love the song Steady P. Yeah, me too. Me too. Exactly. And I hope I'm not taking up too much of your time so you don't have to miss out on Thursday night football, because I know I got your message that I need to hurry up and get through. And Monty Bynum, if you're on this, I got your message as well. So we'll definitely link up and have that discussion. But to get to the main event, I got for one, the explainer. Let me give you the foundation of the story here, and then I'll show you the video that comes with it that even brings it back home, and that basically drives the home run. It hits the home run when this base is loaded. All right. So the story is the Grasshopper and the Ant. And it's an Aesop fable story. So he used caricatures to drive home a point, basically on hard work, on working together when it's easy to work together, and how detrimental it can be to not do so. So there was this grasshopper and there was this ant, and they were living, I guess, in like this little dirt hill with grass around it. Good song. LinkedIn. I see. I don't know who that is. It doesn't show me that, but thank you for tuning in. But the ant and the grasshopper. The grasshopper was more esprit de corps, fly by in the moment, live life for the party, had an abundance of food, had an abundance of shelter. The ant actually knew that, right now it's springtime, the weather's nice, the sun's out, there's ample amount of water, the flowers are starting to bloom, there's ample enough food, so you had enough food to eat for the day. You didn't have to worry about gathering and storing it. You could just come out of your little hut and get some food. So the grasshopper ate at will, drank at will, was running around playing games, listening to music, doing the thing. Okay. And so the ant's like, all right, I know this is too good of a thing to happen. Let's start refine. There are going to be tough times coming ahead. Let's start storing what we can, things that are slow to perish, grains and breads and things like that. Jason's on here. I see you, Jason. See, the story's getting ready to come up. I'm setting the foundation. Thank you for tuning in. But so you store up all the grains and things that can be saved. And so the ant was like, hey, Grasshopper, why don't you help us out? We're going to put all of our supplies back here for when it's raining out or when the weather gets bad or when it's our dry season. And the Grasshopper's, no, I'm not doing that. There's plenty of food. We're not going to run out of food. I'm going to sit here and continue to play my music, play my games, have fun. All right. So this goes on and on. And so the ant's getting frustrated, but the ant stays disciplined and builds up the nest egg of food and grains. And the ant does want to play. The ant does have the other commitments and other things he wants to do as well. But the ant stays disciplined and builds up that stockpile of necessary foods and grains and things like that. The Grasshopper, he's playing all day. He doesn't worry. And so, of course, you know how the story is going to go. It goes from spring to summer. Summer is just one big party. They're all at the little lake in their outfits where they're having fun at the pool, basically, the analogy for that. So summer turns into fall and things start to get a little chilly. Things start to get a little sparse and the ants still stockpile, have fun. Stockpile, have fun. The Grasshopper is fun, eat when I want. Fun, eat when I want. And so that's how it's going from spring, summer, fall. Now we're in the middle of fall, kind of like how it's getting to be now, where our Indian summer is pretty much over with and we're getting into the cooler temperatures. These are the temperatures I actually like, me personally. But now food's getting scarce and the water's getting too cold and things like that. So the Grasshopper's like, okay, eat. Oh, I can't play today. I got to look for more food. It's getting further and further out. Ants like, okay, stockpile, eat, get things done, discipline. And so therefore it gets to the bare winter and there's no more food. The water is either frozen over or it's already gone. And it's too cold outside. The Grasshopper can't come and go as he pleases because he has to search all day long for food just to survive. And the ant staying indoors, staying warm, has enough food to last the entire winter because he stockpiled. He planned for these moments, the sparse moments, and was able to make it through the winter while the Grasshopper's coming knocking on the ant's door. And you know, the law of nature, the ant's going to be like, no, you had your opportunity. We tried to work together. You cannot come in. I'm not sharing your food. So eventually the Grasshopper perished in the winter and the ant lived on to go ahead and start families and start businesses and things like that. That's the analogy. That's not exactly an exact analogy, but you get it. It's the Aesop fable version. Okay, like I said, using caricatures to get the point across how working hard when it's easy to work hard is necessary for when things get sparse, when things get tough, when things get rigid, then you can work together. You've already got a stockpile of surplus of things that you need as opposed to trying to gather the things when they're not as available. All right, so that's the analogy that Aesop was trying to convey here in this video right now. And let me know what you think of the different clips. Let me know what you think of the different songs, the background music for the video as well. I'm going to play the Clee-Sop version of the same story, but the caveat is how it affects law enforcement and the community and how working together with this same kind of thought process, how we can work together to actually build better communities. So here's the story. All right. Duty and creativity. Let me see what you guys think. Here we go. I'm going to back up and play.
In the heart of a bustling town where the chatter of residents mingled with the laughter of children playing in the streets, a palpable energy filled the air. As the sun dipped low, casting golden hues across the sky, the town's law enforcement, led by the steadfast Sergeant Be Safe, worked diligently to maintain order amidst the vibrancy of life. The officers were not merely figures of authority, they were community guardians dedicated to fostering safety and harmony. Each day, they organized programs that promoted preparation and cooperation, emphasizing that a united front was essential for overcoming the challenges that any community might face. On one particularly sunny afternoon, as the townsfolk prepared for the much-anticipated winter festival, a carefree musician named Greg strolled through the streets. With his guitar slung over his shoulder and a spring in his step, he strummed cheerful tunes that echoed off the walls of nearby shops. His melodies brought smiles to the faces of passers-by. And for Greg, the world was a stage where he was free to express himself without reservations. However, while Greg's music filled the air with joy, Sergeant Be Safe was consumed by the weight of responsibility, ensuring that the festival would be a safe and enjoyable experience for all. As Greg played, the familiar figure of Sergeant Be Safe caught his attention. The sergeant, dressed in his crisp uniform, was deep in thought as he reviewed the festival plans. "Hey there, Greg," he called out, his voice cutting through the melodic strumming. "Have you prepared for the festival? It's essential to be ready."
With a carefree laugh, Greg responded, "I'm too busy creating music to worry about that. There's always time for fun." His words, light and airy, hung in the air like a whimsical note. But they struck a chord of concern within Sergeant B. Safe and his fellow officers, who were well aware of the unpredictability that could mar even the most joyous occasions. The sergeant shifted uncomfortably, exchanging knowing glances with his team. "Music is wonderful," he replied firmly, yet kindly. "But we also need to ensure our community is safe and ready for the challenges ahead. Without preparation, we could face trouble later on." The weight of his words lingered in the air, a stark contrast to the carefree atmosphere that Greg had created through his music. Greg paused, his fingers stilled on the guitar strings as he absorbed Sergeant B. Safe's message. The laughter in his eyes dimmed slightly as he contemplated the implications of his indifference. "I didn't think about it that way," he admitted, a hint of remorse creeping into his voice. "I suppose I should contribute to the community too." In that moment, a transformation stirred within him, igniting an understanding that creativity and duty were not opposing forces, but rather complementary elements of a thriving community. With renewed purpose, Greg joined Sergeant B. Safe and his team, stepping from the world of music into the realm of community service. He quickly discovered that the preparation for the Winter Festival was not merely a task. It was a tapestry woven from the contributions of every individual. Together, they brainstormed ideas for events that would not only celebrate the season, but also strengthen the bonds among residents. Greg channeled his creativity into designing engaging activities that would encourage participation and camaraderie.
All right, team, here's the plan to keep everyone safe.
Greg, your music will be our strength.
As the festival approached, the atmosphere in the town shifted. The streets buzzed with excitement and anticipation, and the once separate worlds of law enforcement and artistry began to converge. Greg's infectious enthusiasm inspired others to join the effort. Neighbors who had previously kept to themselves emerged, eager to lend a hand. The community transformed into a vibrant canvas, with colorful decorations adorning every corner and laughter echoing through the air. Yet, as the day of the festival loomed closer, an unexpected storm brewed on the horizon. Dark clouds gathered ominously, casting a shadow over the town's preparations. The weather forecast predicted heavy rain, threatening to dampen the spirits of those who had worked tirelessly to bring the festival to life. Fearful whispers circulated among the townsfolk, and doubts crept into the hearts of even the most optimistic. Sergeant B. Safe, aware of the potential dangers posed by inclement weather, called an emergency meeting with his team. As they gathered to assess the situation, tensions ran high. "We need a plan," he urged, his voice steady despite the uncertainty. "If the storm hits, we must ensure everyone knows where to go and how to stay safe." The officers sprang into action, coordinating with local businesses to secure safe havens and creating contingency plans for the festival. Meanwhile, Greg felt a swell of determination rise within him. He knew that music had the power to uplift spirits, and he was determined to use it to rally the community in the face of adversity. As the cloudy skies darkened, Greg took to the streets once more. He played a series of uplifting and hopeful tunes, his music weaving through the air like a thread of light. Residents gathered, drawn in by the sound, and soon found themselves singing along, their voices rising in unison against the backdrop of looming storm clouds. The collective energy transformed the atmosphere, turning anxiety into hope. Finally, the day of the festival arrived. The town was prepared, and so were its residents. The skies opened to reveal a brilliant sun, bathing the streets in warmth. The festival went on as planned, filled with laughter, music, and a sense of togetherness that had blossomed from the efforts of every individual. Sergeant B. Safe watched proudly as the community came together, grateful for the partnership he had forged with Greg. Their collaboration had proven that creativity and duty could coexist, each enhancing the other. In conclusion, the tale of Sergeant Be Safe and Greg serves as a powerful reminder that a thriving community relies on the balance of duty and creativity. It illustrates that everyone has a role to play in ensuring safety and harmony within their environment. By recognizing the importance of preparation while embracing the joy of creativity, individuals can contribute to a stronger, more resilient community. The collaboration between law enforcement officers and creative individuals like Greg exemplifies how diverse talents can unite to create a safe and vibrant society, where both duty and creativity coexist harmoniously. In the end, it is this balance that fosters not only a sense of security, but also a spirit of joy and togetherness that can weather any storm.
See what I mean? You see what I mean? There, I know you saw the handsome guy at the end that Clee-Sop's Fables explaining in the story. But I'm showing the two similarities of the importance of working together, the importance of discipline, the importance of actually sticking through and not wanting to always play or take care of something else or be lazy. In modern terms, to play video games all day, to sit around all day, to sleep all day, to not come outside, to hanging around doing things that are inappropriate as far as illegal activity, and working together with law enforcement officers not having the stigma of it's us against them. We're here to protect the public. The public doesn't want, working together hand in hand, and in the midst of nature, a storm coming through, you're able to persevere and get through it. So the Aesop's fable version and the Clee-Sop the Clee-Sop's Fable version go hand in hand in explaining the story. So thank you guys for tuning in. I enjoyed bringing all this to you. I told you it was going to be a different style of show, but it was a lot of fun. And one of the board of directors, Jamon, was calling me while we were live here. So, I mean, yeah, he got to know that it's Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. He shouldn't be calling me, asking me whatever question. He should be knowing we're live streaming. So thank you guys for tuning in. You know, we should end on the song. I think we should end on the song again. I'm going to pull that up. But this is Black and Blue. The podcast is just for you. I'm your host. I'm your motivational speaker, your empowerment coach, your author, and your favorite baker's favorite baker, Coach Clee, coming at you. Black and Blue airs Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, where we interview someone who's in law enforcement or a first responder. It doesn't matter if they're rookie season or retiree. We talk about their training experiences and their publications, and we don't fall short doing it. It's been a great show. I'm not putting that up there. Nope, it is Thursday night football, but I'm not going to say go whatever that team is. I don't acknowledge that team, so we're not going to talk about that. But it's been a great show. We're going to have a special guest, and we're going to have another show next week, so make sure you guys tune in. Same bat place, same bat channel, but we're going to end on that. So let me find this song again. Let me pull this video clip up. Here it is, Goofball Corner Boy. Bam!
This is Sergeant Be Safe. Out here, you gotta watch more than your step. You gotta watch your circle. Goofball Corner Boy, you know the vibe. Yeah. Goofball Corner Boy, you know the vibe. Know the vibe.
Hey, stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind.
Rub your blind, smooth talk, slick shoe. Smile on his face while he pick your dudes. Misdemeanor got charm in her tone, but she'll twist your piece when you all alone. Treacherous Tony played both sides slick. Grin like a friend, but he moved too quick and chance. Wild, a wild card, rolling the dice. Risking it all, never think twice.
Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind. Sergeant Be Safe, we don't leave no one behind.
It's a fair still moon, silent at night. Look good doing wrong, look wrong doing right. But
every test make your purpose shine. So keep your soul armored, stay divine.
He don't chase villains, he chase vision. Teaching the block through real precision. Skits ain't comedy, they caution in prayer. Truth with a badge, love in the air. Microphone mission, blog in the zone. Sergeant Be Safe, never stand alone. Faith in the city, hope in the tone. He turned hard lessons into stone.
Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the
the grind, strive to be safe, we don't leave no one behind. Stay safe, keep faith, hold your line. The streets got faces that test your mind. Black and blue, truth in the grind, strive to be safe, we don't leave no one behind. Remember their names. Rob your blind misdemeanor. Treacherous Tony, Chance Wild, Safed Steel. They out there, but so's hope. Sergeant, be safe. Stay aware. Stay alive. Stay faithful. Goofball Corner Boy, you know the vibe. This is so.
Black as you is, there's a whole lot of blue still shining through.
Just the facts, ma'am.
I'm not a bad cop.
I never once said you were. It would be real simple if the problem was bad cops. It ain't.